everybody, and welcome to another episode of SK Diecast Talks. So in this episode, we're going to take a look at this beautiful McLaren F1 GTR in the Papaya orange color scheme, 1:18 scale, made by Solido. So this car is a personal favorite. I've been a fan of this car ever since my college days when we used to play the Need for Speed Part 2. And this was the top tier car in that particular game. And I was in awe with this car right from those days, and I'm still in awe with it right now. And this is the second McLaren F1 GTR in my collection. So the first one was this one. The same McLaren F1 GTR in the Gulf livery, the Le Mans livery. And I already made a video about this car a few months back, the link of which is there on the top right corner of this video. Do take a look at it whenever you find time. So that said, let's take a quick look at this model, and let's see the box first as usual. So the same old Solido box, little scuff marks on the box this time. I don't know, must have happened during shipping or something of that kind. And that doesn't really matter because anyways, this baby is going into the display and it's not going to sit in the box for sure. So the usual Solido stuff you can see here. So I had got this from Scale Art, so you can see the sticker that's put up there. And once again, this model has also been made in Bangladesh. Of late, I'm seeing a lot of these Solido models that are being made in Bangladesh of late. So yeah, the usual warning messages over here, and then the licensing details over here. So this one's licensing is right here, the McLaren. The same old box, gray and blue, which is all too familiar now with 1:18 written over here on the top, scale model car for collectors. And the rear of the box just talks about the history of Solido, about how they started in 1932, and they started with toys and now they're into scale models and all of that. So that's the box, and now it's time to unbox the car. I'm going to unbox it very quickly and catch up with you in a couple of minutes. Alright, I've unboxed the car and it's sitting right in front of us. So this car, I have a few mixed emotions about the whole model. I took a close look at it before I started making this section of the video. So let me put together my observations and then you decide whether the car is worth buying or not. So let's talk about the negatives first. So a few imperfections here and there on the car, which I noticed. One of the most prominent examples is that there's a bit of smear over here, which doesn't really look nice. You can see that, whereas on this side it's perfect. So I'm not sure. I think this is a problem that I have in this particular piece. Second thing, this problem is not yet sorted. So even in the Gulf McLaren, we had the same problem. The wiper blade is always away from the windscreen. If you actually look at it aesthetically, it looks quite bad, but it's a good thing because it doesn't scratch the windshield, but doesn't make it look good actually. So the wiper blade could have been better, but it's better in this model. In the Gulf McLaren that I have, this gap was much higher. It was actually sticking out like that, and was making it look very weird. So that's the second thing. And then the third problem that I have is the doors. So the doors, like the previous model of McLaren, the Gulf McLaren, it's the same problem here. It just doesn't stay on its own, stay up on its own, so it just drops back. I'm not sure why Solido cannot achieve a simple thing like this where the doors stand by itself. It makes for better photographs. So unfortunately, this car is now completely unposeable with the doors open. So that's a sad thing, and I think Solido really needs to work on this. So there are no other opening parts on the car except for the doors as usual. That's how Solido does it, you're aware. The base plate is just a plain black plastic plate, which is kind of okay. With this kind of a model, I think that's good enough. So we are all right with that. For the price point, I think a plastic base plate is okay. Now, coming to some of the advantages that are there, I think the model is kind of painted really well. Solido always does a good job on the painting, so this model is no exception either. So the paint job is really neat, very nice glossy paint as you can see. Uh, like I said, only that smear is a problem, but otherwise the rest of the car is finished up really well. The plastic parts are also very top notch. It looks and feels very good, not like, it's not cheap plastic. So it looks and feels very good, especially the spoiler with a carbon fiber finish looks neat. The other plastic insert is the rear grille, the engine grille at the back. So this has also come out very well with all the badgings, and this also looks and feels premium, and so does the tail lights. The exhaust pipes are also chrome tipped, so makes it look quite good. On the front, I think the headlight inserts are also nice, looks good. It's the same inserts as we saw in the other McLarens, so there's no big difference about it. The air intakes that you see here, I think they have very nice, plastic inserts over there. Unlike just a plain plastic insert, they're patterned, and they're patterned really well. So it looks good. The tow hook is also quite prominent over here in the front. And then, of course, the McLaren badging that's there in the front, that is also visible there. So the indicators, all of it, all the plastic inserts are done quite well. So moving on to the interiors, let's take a look at it. So you can see here the interior of the car is quite well made, especially the switches, the buttons that you see over there. That panel has come out really well with some small labels. With my eyesight, it's very difficult to read those labels, but yes, it's looking pretty good. However, two small things over here. As usual, Solido still paints the seat belts. So while they're able to put up such a detailed interior, I'm not sure why they're not able to make some seat belts so that the interior looks even better. And then the gear shift. The gear shift also looks like, a toothpick with a blob on top of it. So somehow I didn't like it at all. But yeah, apart from the seat belts and the gear shift, I think everything else looks quite good. The McLaren branding on the panel over here, and I think the roll cage, all of it is neatly done. The details behind the seat also is pretty good. So everything looks good inside except for these two. Not sure why this was made a gray. I saw some pictures of the internet. The dashboard was actually black in the real car. That's okay. It's this also looks good, not a big deal. So, but the original car had black dashboards. So that's those are the few things that I noticed over here. Last but not the least, the mirrors came pre-fitted on the model. In the Gulf McLaren, the mirrors were separate, so you'll have to stick that on. Here, these were already stuck on onto the model in the box itself. So overall, I think I would rate this car, keeping in mind the Solido price point. I think I would rate this car at about 6 or 7 out of 10. I think I'll settle for 7. I think some of the details are very good. Point an example is here. You can see the wheel nuts. So the wheel nuts are also done very well. On one side it's blue, on the other side it's red, I guess. With a red outline. The wheel discs are done very good. The calipers don't rotate in some models. I've seen that. I've seen the brake discs as dummies. So they've done all these small things. However, the biggest downer for me is the doors. If the doors could just stay up by itself, I would have given this car definitely an 9.5 out of 10. So value for money as usual, like any other Solido. A great subject to be in anybody's display collection. So with that, I will leave the choice to you whether you want to buy the car or not. But I feel that this is a very well executed model with a few minor flaws. So that's about it. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much.